Are you tired of eating like this every day and feeling like shit? Well, today I'm going to show you 3 easy recipes that are delicious and affordable to keep you satisfied all week. Let's get into it. First, I'm going to show you how to make a cheeseburger lasagna that's high in protein, low in calories, and guaranteed to satisfy. We're going to dice up 1 yellow onion, and now we're going to cook the beef with the onion and some seasonings. Medium-high heat, and we're going to add in 2 pounds of extra lean ground beef and the onions as well. Once all your beef is browned and the onion is tender, we are going to add 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. And guys, this is smelling amazing. Now, after you've got all the sauce and spices mixed in, you're gonna remove it from the heat. Now for the sauce, the base is gonna be marinara, pretty typical for a lasagna, but we're gonna throw in a little bit of some sauces that'll make it taste more like a cheeseburger. So you're gonna go ahead and add 32 ounces marinara sauce, 2 tablespoons yellow mustard, 2 tablespoons of sugar-free ketchup, and 1 tablespoon of pickle juice. And now we're gonna mix that up. Next, for a high protein swap, instead of using a ricotta layer in the lasagna, we're gonna do 3 cups of cottage cheese, and you're gonna blend it smooth. Now comes the fun part, we get to do the layering. First, you're gonna start out with just a thin layer of sauce on the bottom. You don't wanna use too much here, but we wanna prevent the bottom layer of noodles from getting burnt and too crispy. Now we're gonna add oven-ready lasagna noodles. I wanted to make this recipe as easy as possible. You're gonna layer 3 in there. I'm using a 9 by 13 inch baking pan. You're gonna use half of your beef mixture. Now you're gonna use half of the blended cottage cheese. Next, you're gonna add about a cup of sauce. Another 3 of the noodles. All right, now you're gonna repeat from the first layering. Use the rest of the beef, the rest of the cottage cheese, another cup of sauce. All right, now we're gonna layer on 3 more noodles, and this will be the top layer. And you're gonna add the rest of the sauce on top here. We're gonna add 2 cups of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. I went with a low-fat option. Now all we gotta do is put 1 layer of foil over the top. We're gonna put it in at 400 degrees for 50 minutes, and then take off the foil and put it in for another 10 minutes. Now while the lasagna is in the oven, I'm gonna get a side going. Today I'm just gonna be doing some broccoli. You're gonna spray it with a little bit of cooking spray or olive oil, toss with salt and pepper, and put it in the air fryer. I'm gonna do 380 degrees for about 10 minutes. All right, next I'm gonna show you how to make the burger sauce. It's gonna go on top of the lasagna. First, you're gonna start out with 1 cup of plain, non-fat Greek yogurt. Next, you're gonna add 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard, 2 tablespoons of sugar-free ketchup, 2 tablespoons of pickle juice, oops, and we're also going to add in a 1/2 teaspoon of Creole seasoning and a 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika. These are optional, but I like to add a little bit of zing to the sauce, so I recommend it. All right, now you're gonna blend that up. I recommend getting a sauce bottle like this. Otherwise, you can reuse an empty condiment bottle at home. All right, we got the burger sauce made. Now you can refrigerate that for throughout the week. All right, now that it has been 50 minutes, we are going to take the lasagna out. We're going to remove the foil. We're gonna put it back in the oven uncovered for 10 minutes. Now, while the lasagna is finishing up, I'm gonna get some of the fresh toppings prepared. You can cut these up, and I'm just gonna store them in the fridge throughout the week. That way, every time I have a serving, I can throw it on top. This is really gonna give it a nice final touch to make it taste like a cheeseburger, even though it's still a lasagna. And it always helps to get some veggies in as well. So you're gonna chop up some lettuce. I'm using some fresh iceberg. You could also use romaine if you have that on hand. All right, next you're gonna take 2 Roma tomatoes and dice them up. The lasagna is ready to take out. Oh my God, that smells so good. Okay, and now you're gonna need to leave it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes. Time to dig in. Gonna throw the whole macros for this meal on screen here. As you can see, it's just above 750 calories and 78 grams of protein. Now, yes, this is a fairly large meal, but you can always do smaller portions of this. However, it will keep you really full for the amount of calories, and it's still balanced with plenty of protein, so you can definitely fit it into your day. Let's see how it tastes. This might be my favorite recipe I've ever made. I'm a little biased because lasagna is one of my favorite foods, but you have got to try this, especially considering that you can eat this all week and lose weight. This is incredible. It tastes just like a cheat meal, and I am looking forward to the week ahead. Now I'm going to show you how to make the pulled pork sliders. Now this recipe is almost too easy. Anyone can do it, especially if you change up the side. The actual sandwiches themselves are about as simple as it gets. First, you're going to start off by slicing up your Vidalia onion. Now in a bowl, we're going to combine our sauce. You're gonna take 3/4 cup of barbecue sauce, add 1/2 cup of the reduced sodium chicken broth, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard. I've got those all together in here. 2 teaspoons cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon onion powder, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, 1/2 teaspoon black pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of chipotle chili pepper if you want to add that. We're gonna mix everything in here. All right, so now we're gonna start loading up the crock pot. First, you're gonna add in your sliced onions, 2 or 2.5 pounds of pork tenderloin, unless you want a larger batch. And now you're gonna distribute your sauce over the top. Now we're gonna cover this. You're gonna cook it either on low for 5 to 6 hours or high for 3 to 4 hours if you're short on time. Now you're gonna take a small pan, set it over medium heat, 1/2 tablespoon of light butter, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar substitute, and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Once these start to get going, your kitchen's gonna smell like an apple cinnamon candle. This smells so good. All right, now for the dressing, you're gonna need some sugar-free maple syrup, some apple cider vinegar, plain Greek yogurt, a little bit of cinnamon and salt. And now we're going to assemble our salad. 2 ounces of spring mix here. I'm going to add 1/4 of the apple pieces from the pan. Just an 1/8 cup of this mix here of nuts. All right, now that the pork is finally done, we're gonna take it out and shred it. This is so tender that I can just shred it in here. Now you generally don't want to shred it in here, you want to be really careful, but this is so tender that I can easily keep it away from the sides. Now, if at this point it's pretty liquidy, What you're gonna wanna do is set it to high and cook it uncovered for 10 to 15 minutes just to reduce it down. It's definitely thicker and ready to be put into sandwiches. Let's see how it is. Usually I think of pulled pork sliders as junk food. Not entirely, obviously, but usually they've got high calorie buns and tons of sauce and everything and cheese, which, I mean, hey, I love them once in a while as well, but having this anytime you want is a damn good deal. In my opinion, this blows fast food out of the water. I would have this over a Whopper any day of the week, and it's more affordable too. Now I'm gonna try the salad. That is tasty. I've never had like an apple cinnamon flavored salad before. I really like it though. I think it also pairs well with the pork too. They both got similar levels of, sweetness with a little bit of savory mixed in too. But this is definitely unique compared to what I've had before. So get those little bites of apple mixed in there. It's almost like you're having a dessert. You just get like a little bite of apple pie too. It's great. Now for each of the tenders, you're gonna coat them in cornstarch, dip them into the egg whites, and then press them into the cornflakes. I've got my air fryer trays laid out here, so we're gonna set them all on there and then spray them with a little bit of cooking oil before they go into the air fryer. All right, now you wanna leave some chunks still decently large, but get most of it crushed down. You're gonna mix in your seasonings. Got a ½ teaspoon each of salt, black pepper, garlic powder, and Creole seasoning. In a small saucepan, you're gonna take 3/4 cups of 0 sugar or low sugar orange marmalade. And in this bowl, I've got a 1/4 cup low sodium soy sauce and a tablespoon of rice vinegar, as well as 1 teaspoon of roasted sesame oil, a tablespoon of minced garlic, a teaspoon of grated ginger. And you're gonna put this to medium heat and bring it to a simmer. And while it's starting to warm up, you're gonna take 1 teaspoon of cornstarch, mix in 1 tablespoon of water, and you're going to just whisk that together. I'm gonna whisk in the cornstarch and water. Real quick, I'm gonna give it a try. That definitely satisfies the Chinese takeout craving while still staying healthy. I could eat these any day of the week. Now, if you just want to make the tenders, keep it simple. They're a great appetizer. However, I'm also going to show you how to make a fried rice recipe that's a bit healthier. It's got some fiber in it, keeps the calories a bit lower. First, you're going to take a pack of Ben's Original brown rice, follow the instructions. Once the rice is done, you're going to put in a bag of frozen broccoli florets from Bird's Eye. And you're gonna do it just under the amount of time needed because you're also gonna be cooking this further. So this is 4 minutes. I'm gonna be throwing it in for about 3.5 minutes. Now for the rice, you're gonna take a bag of frozen cauliflower rice and add it to a large skillet on medium heat. And you're gonna cook this for 5 to 7 minutes. You just wanna let most of the moisture evaporate from it. All right, now that the cauliflower rice is cooked and drier, you're gonna scrape it over to 1/2 of the pan. And in the other side of the pan, you're gonna scramble 2 eggs. after your eggs are scrambled, we're gonna add everything else into the pan. You're also gonna add in about 2 cups of frozen shelled edamame, 1 cup of frozen peas and carrots, and 2 teaspoons of roasted sesame oil along with 3 tablespoons of reduced sodium soy sauce. And we are gonna mix all of this together and stir fry it for 3 to 4 minutes. This is optional as a garnish, but I recommend chopping up some green onions. You can add these to the rice and on top of the orange chicken. Now, if it's been a little while as you're cooking the rice since your chicken tenders were done, you can always pop them in the microwave for 30 seconds just to get some of that sauce to melt again. Gonna go ahead and put the macros on screen now. And let's see how it turned out. That orange marmalade really comes through, gives it a great orange flavor. This hits the spot. If you're in the mood for Chinese takeout and you want orange chicken and fried rice, this hits the spot. If you're on a diet and you're in the mood, this is a great hack. I really recommend it. The textures blend so beautifully on this. The cauliflower rice is invisible. I can't even tell. It just feels like the texture of normal rice. You've got the soft vegetables, the fluffy eggs. The chicken's still got a crunch on it. It, all in all, just really tastes like the real thing. Now that we're done with all 3 recipes, I'm gonna put the prices on screen here for each approximate serving price. Now, I think these meals are all delicious, affordable, and I could eat them over and over again. Please let me know down below if you try any of them out and what you think, or if you'd like me to make any macro-friendly options of other foods you enjoy. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.